I have a Polarfire Icicle kit that I want to connect to an analog to digital converter using SPI. Um, I see here's the kit. It's on like their Microchip website. If you look at their close up of their picture, you can see that it's got this MikroBus connector, those two connectors there. And I know that that has a SPI interface on it. So if you pull up the MikroBus standard from Micro E, this is the pinout of which it has got 4 pins, chip select, clock, MISO, and MOSI, which are the 4 SPI signals that we need. So we need to get the FPGA to talk to these 4 signals. So the rest of this is going to be me stumbling along. I have not done this yet. In the description, I'll put in the top whether I was successful or not, so you'll know if you're wasting your time watching this video. So go to the user guide. So that's here. Just most of this you just get done with a web search, and you get the you get this guy, and you do a Control F for MikroBus, and it does have a MikroBus. Good. And what I'm looking for, let's go back to the standard, is something that assigns the FPGA pins to these signals to a particular pin on the FPGA. It's a nice picture. It doesn't help me. Next. Nice. Okay, it says that it's using these banks. Okay, fine. Says it's these J44 and J8 is the connector. Fine. So it says here that the SPI signals are on bank 2. Does that line up with what they said earlier? Bank 2. Cool. So I would like to know what pins on bank 2 are being used. 16-bit, fine. Okay. And it wrapped. So the user guide does not provide a pinout or a pin assignment, FPGA pin assignment for these MikroBus connectors. I went for a home run, so I did open up Libero and to kind of try to look for it. And so if you open up the project in Libero, which is a task if you haven't done it yet, I've got examples in other videos, and kind of look for something like that would look like the pin name that we're looking for. And if you screw down through, you see MBus PWM, so that's pulse width modulation pin. So you go back to the standard for a second. Let's see, do we here, PWM. So this signal is wired, already pre-wired in the reference design to right here. So we could just connect to that pin if we wanted to use it. I want to use the SPI pins. So keep looking for like something like with an MBus prefix, a bunch of UARTs, UARTX. Again, if we just go back to the standard, you can see that we've got a UARTX and RX. Thank you. That's nice. Let's go back to here. Scrolling down through. I do not see. Oh, beautiful. They give us I squared C signals, but not SPI signals. Let's see. I squared C, just to go back to here. SCL and SData, those are the two I squared C signals that they have pre-wired to the Polarfire. So all you have to do is be modified in here, put a new controller in, is connect those 2 pins up, they're all ready to go. But nothing helped me. So those were the output pins. Let's just, which should have had something. Those are the most important SPI input pins. Just looking to see if they got, oh, SPI 1. What the heck is SPI 1? DI. MikroBus. I think they would have labeled it with a MikroBus. Let's just follow this signal just for a second. I'm thinking I'm not going to trust this guy. But that goes into the MSS wrapper, which is the got the 5 risk processors in it. Um, so we could potentially use that. I've got custom FPGA logic, which is not part of the MSS. I'm going to be putting my custom logic into probably this FIC fabric interconnect, maybe peripherals block. So this is where I'm going to instantiate my block. I'm going to want it to have it come out with some sort of the SPI signals. So I'm going to have to end up adding new signals here, but I still don't know what pins those are on. So often there's a PDC file, a physical design constraints file, maybe that that Libero uses when it synthesizes. So I've opened up Git Bash, and so I already have done some poking around, and I was disappointed in what I found. But anyway, let's see. Whoops. Let me bail out of this for a second. Okay, so here I am at PWD. So I had installed in this directory the ICE reference design kit I downloaded from GitHub. And if I do a find Icicle kit reference, this will return every file that's in this folder. So you can say, well, that's a lot of files. Then you can pipe that vertical bar into grep of PDC for physical design constraint. And we've got a lot smaller collection of them. And it looks like a MikroBus PDC file already exists. As you can see, I created this original file, so I copied it from here to here. And that's about as far as I've gone in my pre-exploration. But if we do a diff, which I did before, of this PDC file in this script support directory with this, I know I saw it here, this one that's in the project's constraint IO file, and we do a diff, comes back, no differences. Sometimes you can do a diff-s to give you a warm fuzzy. Look, it says they are identical. So the build script probably copies it from this script support folder into the project's into the project's constraint folder. So they're identical. So I copied this file to original just so I don't mess it up. And then I was going to edit this guy. And so I'll open that up. I'm editing it with Vim, which is not my editor of choice, but that's what I've got here on Git Bash. And so you can see in here, we're setting like some banks, all these banks for IO1. We've got all these MBus. Here's the PWM, the I2C, the UR, RX, URTX, an interrupt. It looks like the AN, even the AN, and the reset. So they have every single signal except for, is this true? Except for the SPI signals. Let's see how much they hate me. All right, so we got PWM. They've got the two SCL. Okay, they got the TX and the RX. They got the interrupt, so they hit this whole side. Then they've got two other bonus ones here. So they got the reset and they got the analog. So they started out, and then they said, "Oh, this is SPI. We don't want to tell you about it because we don't like you, and we really wish you would go away." And so they have not given me anything on these SPI signals. Uh, 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 yeah, all right, fine. So we will have to add these signals to an SDC file. It gives me a sigh. I'd rather not have to do that. I would have rather, it had been already built into Libero's reference design, but such is as it is. So how do we do this? Shift :Q return. And all right, so maybe, just maybe, I think I did this and it failed. Grep -I for case insensitive, MISO. Let's look at all the files in the constrained area. Maybe there's a MISO hiding. Nope. Now, sometimes what I do is we go back. Remember, I did this find command, which turned everything. And also do this dash type F for file. Put a backtick here and a backtick here, which means everything that would have squirted out with this command will now go to the basically like the command line. We want to grep for -I for case insensitive, MISO. And so that will look at every file in the entire Icicle reference design tree for the word MISO, which stands for main in sub peripheral out. There's also MOSI, which stands for main output sub peripheral in. So it's nice that they define on both sides. Sometimes when you see something as D out or D in, you don't know really what that reference is. Hit return. It's looking through every file in the Icicle reference design. And it did find something, and I have not been here yet. So we have got this in the README. So there's something in the README on the Icicle design reference design kit. So again, I have not been here yet. Well, I've been to that folder to get to clone the reference design kit, but I've not really read the Icicle design kit. Icicle Polarfire. What do we call it? A GitHub maybe? So here we go. Here's the reference design kit. Here's the README. Control F for SPI, MISO. SPI look back. So this is in some sort of argument-based design generation. Right. These arguments that I've got to do. Some fundamental examples and tutorials require a specific fabric configuration which cannot be achieved in the standard-based design. For example, to test the I2C loopback, the MSS must be reconfigured to route I2C fabric and bidirectional buffers that need to be instantiated along with additional constraint. Well, that's I2C's problem. SPI doesn't have this bidirectional issue. These configurations are achieved by passing an argument to Libero when generating the design. Arguments will generate a standard base design and apply design changes on top of that. On top of that configuration, the arguments are here. Route SPI 0 to the fabric and connect the IOs to the RPI header. Route SPI 1 to MSS IOs on the MikroBus header. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. I want SPI. Well, they call them SPI 0 and SPI 1. Maybe that's possibly a key. So remember that. Associate SPI loopbacks. Associates SPI loopback constraints for I/O. Design can be used with the driver examples. SPI Mosey is routed to pin 19 of the RPI header. SPI Mosey is routed to pin 21 of the, I guess this is Raspberry Pi header. There's a nice header that they've got, the 40-pin header. The SPI clock goes to 23. And so this is using, what? This is using the Raspberry Pi instead of a micro. I guess you could do that. I don't want to do that. Okay. To run the demo, connect. So this is where we have a thing go. Oh, wow. That's the sound of despair on my part. It's what I wanted. Feel of dread and failure permeate the room. Was I searching for MISO? Is that the only place we talk about it? That's the only place they talk about it. Thank you very much. Well, I'm not done yet. All right, so we do not have anything in the PDC file. Fine. For SPI. Okay, so next stop, schematics. Probably should have gone there first. Good old trusty schematics. Let's see what we can get here. So we've gone back to this development board. I still want to use that interface. Maybe I'll end up having to use, let's see, up here, the sort of Raspberry Pi interface. It's not where I want to go, though. Let me think for a pause for a minute. Okay, so they did give a clue. SPI 1, SPI 0. Barrel. Okay, in this folder here, the constraints folder, I'm going to look at all the PDC and all the PDC files, which define all the I/O constraints and the pin assignments. We're going to look with a grip SP1. So it's case insensitive. Was it SP1? Is that what they called it? Remember, what did they call it? They called it SPI1. Okay, hit return. Nothing. any SPI at all. Quad SPI. We don't really want that. We got the SPI loop back. So we got these SPI zeros. Let's read one more time what they were talking about. So SPI 0 routed to the RPI header. Okay. SPI 0. Doesn't seem like they want me to do what I want to be doing. All right, so I'm going to go back up to the main page for Polarfire. Don't want to see this picture anymore. We'll scroll down, and somewhere they should have something. Keep looking. So here's documentation. The board files I don't want. The bill of materials I don't want. I've looked at this. I've looked at this. I don't care about the design constraints. I'm going to click on the schematics. This is hopefully something that'll be. I'm going to open in a new tab. So right click and left click on open link in new tab. And here we've got the schematics. Control F. So I just type Control F and let's type in my. Actually, on the front page, often they have a table of contents. Yeah, right here. And do they give something with the micro interface? Nothing jumps out at me. So I'm going to scroll down. I really want this U-bus. U-bus, USB. It's not U-bus. Spelling's close, completely different meaning. So let's look for a PWM. So we saw that in there. That seems like a unique thing that would be there. This is too small. So maximize this guy. I found it, I think. Sometimes things highlight a little better. I'm just going to be clicking through. I think that's probably very promising. I'm looking for something that jumps out at me as far as a connector. Oh, look at that. We got lucky that I scrolled up there. Again, I have not been here. So what I'm doing is I'm hitting the control key and I'm scrolling with my middle mouse button. I'm scrolling, and that allows you to scroll in, scroll out when you hold the control key down. When you just scroll by itself, it scrolls up, scrolls down. When you hold the shift key down, it scrolls left, scrolls right. This is a pretty common interface. It's also how Libero allows you to go through schematics. All right. So here we've got MBus SPI clock, SPI MISO, and SPI MOSI. So we're going to select this guy with a left click and drag, Control C, Control V, and I think that should take us to where are we? Where did it take me? Let's found that. It's really hard for me to see what it's finding. I'm going to assume there's nothing useful on this page. Might have to go through this again. It's bringing me back to here. Let's see, another return. So, what do you want from me? Oh, look, they do have this green box. I'll take a green box. Bank 2 is what they claimed before. And looky what we've got here. Considered PF-SOC as spy master. That's what exactly I want. All right, so we are now in business. We have right here the spy clock, chip select, data to the converter, and the data from the converter. So that is, this goes to M, M, M. So E5. Okay. I'm going to hit on, I've got the snipping tool. I think snip. The snipping tool, I've pinned that to my toolbar down below. And left click on that. New, left click on new. And there we go. And if we click on it, so it used to show up automatically on the top of everything. Now you have to click on the toolbars icon again to bring it up. What you just snipped. So we've got this guy here. I like him. So I sometimes just create a PowerPoint or a spread presentation. So I don't have PowerPoint installed, but I've got the free LibreOffice Impress, which is similar that yet different. So okay, nice. Let's cancel it. Control A, delete everything. Let's see, let's go back to here. Snippet tool. Control A, V, Control. Sorry, I'm doing it. Control A, Control C, back to here. Control V. All right, I don't want to lose this. I'm gonna be referencing this somehow. It's bank 2. Bank 2. Bank 2. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay. So they've got typed in here spy worm S clock. This is work already been done for me. Maybe let's go back to here. Let's look for spy worm S clock. Something with spy worm SPI. SDIO. Okay. G. Spy one. You stinker. Okay. Spy one. Spy one. SS. Oh? By the way, these are bidirectional. I guess it allows the outside to be the main controller. I don't want that. Okay, so we've got this. So we got a data out. We gave a clock. This is like probably how they, if the SS is probably how they spell chip select. If we go over here, looking for SPI. This kind of, I think we saw this earlier, and I said, I don't trust that. All right, I think that we're gonna have to trust that. Okay, all right. So we should be able to find SPI. We couldn't find it. That should be defined in the PDC file. Let's go back to here. SPI. How come we couldn't find it? This did not. Oh, wait a minute. Did find these. So they are there. And we should, let's see, here's an interesting thing. Um, right. So this is the script support. I dot and grab. Um, and let's look for PDC and see that. Shoot. Crypto. What's all this crypto stuff? Examples. Oh, that's interesting. All right. All right. Good news. We got the loop back in the project file, which I guess makes sense since we saw it there. All right. So that was a big, big boondoggle. Just walking through how I convinced myself that the SPI1 interface is what we want, and this is wired. So we looked in the schematic to the MikroBus. So what we're going to have to do, and I'm going to break this video so that you don't have to get dragged through this waste of time, is I'm going to disconnect this pin. Click here. Doesn't really want to disconnect, does it? What happens if I click on this? Can I delete it? Uh, 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 uh. I'm going to have to figure out. It doesn't let me disconnect or delete. It wants those pins to go into that processor. SPI, delete, 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 delete. How about this guy? Can we get rid of him? Delete, delete, delete. Modify, rename, magnify, copy name. I don't know. So is there a property that somehow it for, let's see, delete, 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 delete. Is this a pin that is dedicated just for the MSS, and we can't use it for the fabric? A lot of times you can run the MSS signals, they run through the fabric. You can break them off and we could use it for what we want to. Let's go back to still fumbling, everybody, as you can see. I'm not going to be getting where I want to get to. Let's see, so we do a cat for these loopbacks. No, you don't want that one. Cat of these loopback signals where you can see these SPI signals. Hit a return. That something said that the SPI signals were on bank 2. Here it's saying they're setting the I/O to bank 1. Fixed is true. I wonder if that fixed means that it's locked. I thought that I had things fixed and I could delete them and undelete them. On other designs, I don't know quite how to unlock these pins. And these pins here, just for sanity's sake, let's take a look. And we had here, SPI clock is E5. Here it's C10. SPI chip select is E4. SPI Mosey. I got some G's. Mosey, so it'd be this one, G10. Okay, thinking here. I got nothing yet. All right, here's my next plan of attack here. I'm going to look through all the PDC files, all the pin definition files, essentially. I'm going to look for E5, E4, B2, and A2. We know that these are in the schematic. So this is how they're actually wired. Let's see, and we know that these are wired over to the micro connector. So let's see if we're using E4, E5, A2, and B2 for anything. And if not, then we're going to create ourselves a new PDC file like this, our own signal names, and go from there. Okay. First of all, okay. Um, okay. E4. That's seriously right. Hello. E4. Um, so they're calling E4 this. Nice name. What file is it in? Icicle Mac. 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 Is that for Ethernet? E5. Mac. Aye. 2. This is pins. No, wait. So these are port names. They are not signals. So I did not find them. Let's go back to our snippet. So we're looking for So E4 and 5, we did not find anywhere. We only found these. So we're looking for a pin name, pin underscore name space E5 and E4. All we found were these port names, which kind of threw me off for a moment, but basically we did not find a pin called E4. We did not find a pin called E5. We did, oops. Now we're going to be looking for pin A2. The only thing we found was A20, pin names A20 and 21, which is not what we want. And now let's look for B2. Ooh. And so we do not have a pin B2. We have a 20, 21, 22, but no B2. So now that we go back to our snippet one more time, keep going back to this. So this is bank 2. What I'm going to look for is, scroll up here. I'm going to look for something that says bank 2. And banks are important because they define the voltage levels that are supported. Huh? Did this not work? So a lot of folks are on bank 1. The MikroBus is on bank 1. So let's make nobody's on bank 2. Why? It's bizarre, isn't it? So here's what we're going to do. We are going to copy no, that's not what we're going to do. We already got one here. Just make sure he didn't mess it up. Okay. I think I've created an original one already so that I can pull back on it. LS. And so, yes, we've got a working one and the original. Okay. So we should be able to, this guy. Oops. I do a control A a lot. So I'm over it somewhere in here and I want to get to the beginning of the line. Control A gets you to the beginning of the line. Control E gets you to the end. So go to Control A, boom, modify the command, and then hit return. All right. So what do we want to do here? Going to the end here, I'm going to hit I. Hit I or A. Okay, so we hit an I. That puts you in this insert mode. And so what I want to do is a left click, drag, select that area, middle mouse button, and we've got it down there. 3.3 volts, I think, is what I'd like to have. Let's see, this is going to totally destroy everything I've got here. So we're going to have that. So they like to put one command on a line. I think it makes it hard for me to see things. So these backslashes mean end of line, but it's really a line continuation. So the processor considers it all on one line here. You can also just put them on one line. Was that really so bad? I mean this way. when I do a grep, it'll just tell me everything I want to know about IO Bank 2. It's not really bad, is it? Is that something that's really frowned upon? Maybe. All right, so now we're going to steal. In, out, in, out. We don't want to steal ham. In, out, output. Most of our signals are going to be outputs here. Let's steal this guy. So I selected with a left click drag, middle mouse scroll wheelie, click, paste, and oh, sorry for that flash. I don't know what causes it. I'm going to go here and I'm going to start going delete. And I'm going to put everything on one line because it keeps me from going more insane. All right, so I'm just using my arrow keys on my keyboard to move around. And, every now and then a backspace or delete. Oh, no. Did I delete anything evil? Good. I think it's good. Delete. All right. That's a nice line. In reality, we want them to be what we want to have. MBus. Let's go back to the standard. Here. Let's call it. No, we're not using these signals. In fact, we are using these signals. So MBus SPI clock, MBus SPI CS, MBus, and the official names of the CS. They don't give it a pound. MBus SPI clock. Whatever it is, let's minimize this guy here. These are the names we want. This guy less big too. All right. And okay, MBus. I do really like that case sensitive cleverness. They did it, so let's try to be consistent with them. I underscore CLK. And that is on E5. E5. Okay, a few returns. I'm going to double left click here. Go with the cursor here and middle click, return, middle click, return, middle click, return, middle click. We got some outputs. So the next one is this a CS. Let's do that. So chip select N for low active, which lines up with this little hash symbol on the schematic. I'm going to call him, put him on E4, which is right here. And then we're going to go down to MOSI, MOSI, which is the main controller, which is the FPGA in this case. So it's main out, sub peripheral in, E4. See, so it goes to B2, back, B2. It's an output. And before we do this next one, because I know I'm going to forget it. We'll change this to input. Get that messed up. Right, and the next one is like A2. And ISO. Okay, now we're good to go. I'm going to do an escape key. And now I'm in Vim, which the escape key gets you out of insert mode. You can see it says insert mode. Hit the escape key, no longer in the insert mode. Now you can pretty much just work around, move around in command line mode. Now this is kind of a cool one. I'm going to hit the D key twice, DD, and it's going to delete a line. So that extra line I've got there is going to get deleted. D, D, bye-bye. All right. Let's get a few more DDs. DD, 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 DD. See the line DD. Okay. Okay, so escape. No? Yes, maybe so. Escape. Yes. I don't think I need escape. It doesn't hurt. Now shift colon. See the colon appears down here. And W for write and Q for quit. All right. So we just edited this file here. Let's do a cat of him and see if what we just did is still there. Look at that. All right. Now, I think what I want to do is I want to do again a happy find command. Find all these. Well, I don't know what all this stuff is. Other examples of something, I guess. But I want to copy this file from the script support area, which we just edited. Copy. I want to copy him to the project folder. It's MPFS Icicle constraints folder. And hit return. Now we do a cat. This constraints folder. We should have seen the edits that we just did, but we didn't. Let's make this window bigger. Do that find command again. And I will do a cat of what we just edited. What? What's going on? I'm messing up something. Let's do a history. We did a cat. Oh. Okay, so we were editing a MikroBus. Um, and okay, and I tricked myself to think we're doing this by loop back. So if we do a cat of this, it doesn't have any of our edits because this is not the file we edited. Space. And so this is not what we care about. This is whatever the processor's using. Sorry, I'm thinking. So now we need to take, let's see, so, well, so I don't have a backup of this guy anymore, but we didn't edit it. Let's back up here. Put a star here. Control A at the beginning of the line. LS-LT. So the L gives like a tells everything about the file, like dates and sizes and things. It's like a verbose. T means to sort it by time. Reverse says to put the newest files at the bottom. So right above our prompt will be the most recently edited files in this constraints folder. And you can see that we edited this guy today. All this other stuff is, I built this project back, I guess, in the beginning of February. Now we're 2.5 weeks later, and we're going to try to do something with it. And so this guy has what we just edited, um, which is cool. Why am I wasting time on this? All right, so, but I want to make a backup of this because I don't have a backup. And so we do a find grid. We do a diff. Oh, I didn't find it. Going insane. Maybe I've been there a long time to a star. And it does say I do have a back. So it just, I got up and going at this for 5, 6, 17 for an hour. I'm so sorry. Um, so here we are. We have just modified the PDC file. We're going to copy it from the scripts folder. Let's get find Icicle MikroBus. Okay, I'm gonna copy this script support folder, which we just edited, to the MikroBus project folder. The MPFS Icicle is what they call their project. Hit return, and now we do a cat of this over here. It should say that we've got our edits. So we've just edited this file. If we have any luck at all, we can modify the schematics, add these ports to the schematics, and then get those SPI signals on the MikroBus connector to wiggle. So that'll be in the second video. This is like one incredibly long hour. I'll break it. So I'm breaking it into this too. You guys can skip all of this. I'll do a very quick intro in the second second video. All right, signing out. Take care. Shift.